Okay, let's be real. Finding the perfect gift for an introvert can be tricky, right? You want to show you care, you want to make them feel seen, but man, the fear of overwhelming them, it's real. So that's what we're diving into today, a guide to gifts that actually energize them instead of draining them.
And that really is the central question, isn't it? So often, we're taught that a great gift has to be this big, grand gesture, a huge surprise. But for so many introverts, the most powerful kind of recognition, it comes in a much quieter package. And that's what this is all about.
So the key here is to really get the difference between what we'll call loud statements and quiet signals. Loud statements, think surprise parties, public praise. For a lot of people, that can feel like being shoved into a really uncomfortable spotlight. Quiet signals, on the other hand, are often way more powerful. We're talking about these low-energy cues that just affirm who they are. That's what builds a real connection.
This isn't just a gut feeling. There's actually some really cool psychology behind why these quiet signals land so well. So let's dig into the science of what it actually means to feel seen.
Okay, so it all starts with this psychological concept called self-verification. Basically, we all have this fundamental need to be seen by other people the way we see ourselves. And when a gift nails this, it stops being just an object. It becomes this act of validation. It's a way of saying, hey, I see you for who you really are. And that's how you build some serious trust. This quote really just gets right to the heart of it. It's all about seeing those introverted traits, like being quiet or being a good listener, not as flaws, but as actual strengths. A gift that can communicate that level of understanding, wow, that's powerful stuff. All right, another huge piece of the puzzle here is energy management. For a lot of introverts, choosing calm, quiet environments isn't just a preference. It's not just something they like. It's literally how they manage their energy. It's how they recharge their batteries. So respecting that need for calm isn't just a nice, thoughtful thing to do. It's absolutely essential if you want your gift to land well.
So, this whole idea of energy and validation, it brings us right to our next point, which is the totally surprising power of small, kind gestures.
And here's where the research gets really interesting. Turns out, studies show again and again that when we're the ones giving a gift or doing something kind, we have a major blind spot. We consistently underestimate just how good a small, simple act of kindness is going to make the other person feel.
This chart here visualizes what researchers have dubbed the kindness gap. Just look at the difference. The giver's prediction of the impact is, well, it's way lower than what actually happens. The person on the receiving end feels a way bigger positive boost. What does this tell us? It tells us that those small, quiet gifts are so much more potent than we give them credit for.
So, let's put all this science together. What does it all mean? Well, first, we know that kindness is strongly linked to a higher sense of well-being. Second, as we just saw, the person receiving the kindness feels the impact way more than the giver ever predicts. And get this, even just a brief exposure to kindness can actually lower your stress and make you feel calmer. So a gift that sends that kind of signal, it's not just a thing, right? It's a seriously powerful tool for connection.
Okay, so we've got the science down. Now for the fun part. Let's actually put this stuff into practice. I'm going to walk you through a quiet gift guide with some real-world ideas built on everything we've just talked about.
First up, our first category is all about hitting that core need for self-verification. These are gifts that are designed to do one thing: make someone feel truly, deeply understood for who they already are.
So, for example, something as simple as a handwritten card, but not just happy birthday, a card with a specific, true compliment. Something like, I just want you to know I really value your calm perspective in meetings. Or maybe it's a small pin or a minimalist bracelet that reflects a core value they have. See, these things work because they tap right into how that person sees themselves. It's a way of saying, I get you, without forcing them to put on a big, loud, oh, you shouldn't have performance.
All right, next category: gifts that act as a low-energy social cue. What I mean is, these are things that help someone express their warmth or their values to the world, but in a really quiet way that doesn't drain their social battery.
Think about it. A t-shirt or a tote bag with a simple, kind message. It kind of sets a friendly tone before a single word even needs to be said. It's a gentle signal. Another really cool idea is something like kindness prompt cards. They offer these gentle nudges towards those kind acts we know boost well-being, but the choice to actually do them is totally personal, totally low pressure. Okay,
And for our last category, we're focusing squarely on that super important concept of energy management. These are gifts that literally help an introvert recharge their batteries by creating a calm, restorative space.
So you could think about something like a soft light lamp or a really cozy weighted throw, things that physically make a space calmer. Or what about a guided journal, one that helps them reflect on their core values, which, by the way, research shows is a great way to buffer against stress. And honestly, this might be my favorite, a quiet time voucher, just offering to take a chore off their plate so they can have a guaranteed hour to themselves. It's such a small act of kindness, but as we now know, the impact is huge.
Okay, so to pull this all together, I want to give you a super useful tool that you can use for pretty much any gift for anyone, really. Just think of it as your final little checklist before you make a decision.
So before you buy anything, just quickly run your idea through these 3 questions. First, does it reflect a value they already own? This is all about that self-verification we talked about. Second, can it be used or enjoyed without forcing a big conversation or a social performance? That's all about respecting their energy. And finally, does the wording or the vibe of it feel like their language? This makes sure that your quiet signal is...
So really, the biggest takeaway here is pretty simple. The most meaningful gifts for the introverts in your life are often the quietest ones. You want to think signals, not spotlights. Gifts that affirm who they are, respect their energy, and deliver a dose of kindness in a way that forges a real connection. So the only question left for you is, what quiet signal are you going to send next?